We've got the Realme GT2 Pro and the Realme GT2 on the right. Oh, that's a beautiful looking phone. Wow. This is a completely different texture. This feels so different. I've never experienced a phone which feels like this. So first impressions of that design and color, very, very nice. You got the signature for the Realme designer who's come up with this wonderful design. They actually look identical. The Pro on the left and the standard model on the right. They feel the same. The camera bumps look similar, but they're not quite. They're actually slightly different. You can see the two 50 megapixel lenses are bigger and they are closer together, whereas you've got some space between the 50 and the ultra wide on the standard model. Otherwise, size-wise, they do look quite similar. Design looks the same. You can see the antenna lines and positioning seems to be different. Otherwise, the color and the feel are exactly the same. Now we have a 6.7 inch display versus a 6.62 inch display. That's LTPO versus AMOLED, both 120 Hz, but we've got a 525 ppi versus 398 ppi. You've got 1400 nits of peak brightness versus 1300 nits of peak brightness, and I believe they both should have 1000 Hz touch sampling. Some of the other differences, we've got 9 layers of cooling versus 8 layers of cooling. You've got antenna array matrix system versus hyper antenna switching. So the matrix system on the Pro version is a combination of hardware and software to enhance the reception performance of the Wi-Fi, 5G, NFC, giving you omnidirectional Wi-Fi. So you've got these communication antennas all the way around the phone. So no matter how you hold the phone, you're going to get that same boosted reception. And the Realme GT has hyper antenna switching as well. It's not as advanced as the Pro version, but you do get a similar system in there as well. Also, Gorilla Glass Victus versus Gorilla Glass 5, both 5000 milliamp hour batteries, both 65 watt fast chargers included in the box, both stereo speakers with high-res audio and Dolby Atmos sound. The other obvious difference is Snapdragon 8 Gen 1 versus Snapdragon 888. So 4nm versus 5nm, they are both flagship smartphones. Both running Android 12 with Realme UI 3.0 on top. And they both do have in-display fingerprint sensors and face unlock. The cameras are slightly different. So the front camera, we've got 16 megapixels on the Pro model, but we've got a larger 32 megapixel sensor on the standard model. Also the rear cameras, so we've got 50 megapixel primary, 50 megapixel ultra wide, and that's a 150 degree lens. And you've got a 40x microscopic camera. The standard model has a 50 megapixel primary, 119 degree ultra wide, and I believe that's an 8 megapixel, and you've got a 2 megapixel macro. So here is a quick camera comparison, and as you can see, there is not much separating them. The primary 50 megapixel camera in standard photo mode produced 12 megapixel binge shots, both equally good results and not much between them. Here is a very quick selfie to compare the 16 versus 32, slightly higher contrast on the right, but otherwise both decent enough shots. Now this is a macro shot of a brick wall from the GT2 standard model, and this is a 40x microscopic photo of the same wall from the Pro model. Now this example here is mad. Both are photos of my hand. You got 40x microscopic shot versus standard macro shot. The Pro model's micro lens is impressive. Last one, I promise. Close-up of a Tesco receipt, standard macro on the right, and the super micro lens on the left. Just check out that detail. Quick look at some 4K video at 30 FPS. Now both videos do look identical, color and contrast look the same, but you can see that the Pro model's video on the left is slightly more smoother with better stabilization. You can see that Netflix is not available from the Play Store. For some reason, the device is not compatible with Netflix. Google Widevine certification is there, level 1, but for some reason we can't download Netflix from the Play Store. You could of course try sideloading, I'm sure that would work fine. Prime Video, Disney, YouTube, everything else works absolutely fine. Quick look at CPU-Z. You can see the clock speeds 3 GHz, 2.84 GHz, and Adreno 730 versus Adreno 660. Quickly show you the system information, Android 12, and the root status of both. Alright, we're going to run a quick Geekbench test, and we're going to see which one finishes first and gets the higher score. 1, 2, 3. Now both smartphones are flagships, both running Snapdragon chipsets. So we are talking about the Snapdragon 888 versus the Snapdragon 8 Gen 1. 2.8 GHz versus 3 GHz. So the Snapdragon 8 Gen 1 is slightly more powerful than the Snapdragon 888. And I just want to see for myself exactly how powerful. So the GT2 Pro has finished slightly quicker, only by a few seconds. That is also reflected in the score. So single core score 1242 versus 1134 and 3558 versus 3512. So according to Geekbench, not a huge difference there. Let's see what Antutu makes of it. So here we go. 1, 2, 3. So it looks like we have our results. This is the first time I've ran Antutu on both phones. 975,000 and 843,000. So those were the results for the Antutu benchmark test. So starting temperatures on both phones, so 33 and 34, and temperatures ending 39.8 and 41.5. All right, we're just going to check out the COD graphics settings. So first of all, the Pro model, you can see we have the option for very high and maximum frame rate. And in comparison, you can see exactly the same option, very high and maximum frame rate on the standard GT2 model. Okay, quick comparison of PUBG Mobile. You can see we have the option for Ultra HD selected and Ultra frame rate. Exactly same on the GT2 model. So we have Ultra HD and Ultra frame rate. On both, if we select HDR, you get the option for Extreme. So I'm expecting a very similar, if not same, graphics performance based on that. So let's jump straight into a game and see how they both look. Here we go. So get both characters running first of all. And try and compare them. Standard model on top, Pro model at the bottom. Just got both of them sprinting. Same graphics settings applied on both. And I'm getting shot, so let's try and survive. The GT2 Pro is getting shot. I don't actually have a gun, obviously. I haven't got to that stage yet. I'm getting sniped from quite a far distance. I've got two people shooting me. Hopefully the other one doesn't get shot. You just keep going straight. I can't believe they're still shooting me. Alright, some graphics performance here. So I've got both characters sprinting right now. Trying to avoid enemies, so I'm going in the water, I guess. See if I can get to the other side without dying. Yeah, try playing this game on two phones at the same time. And they're equally good. I can't say one looks better than the other. I have to say they look equally good. Smooth, sharp looking graphics. And it looks like everybody's after me. The Pro version at the bottom does have a faster processor and graphics. But the game actually needs to be able to take advantage of that. And for PUBG specifically, you can see that they're running at exactly the same frame rate and graphics. And they look as equally good. So a very quick gaming comparison. I will be doing a full gaming test very soon on the channel. So there you have it, guys. That was my quick comparison between the Realme GT2 Pro versus the Realme GT2. So two flagship smartphones with impressive performance and specifications, great features, great overall build quality, very decent cameras. And based on what you've just seen, which smartphone do you think you're going for? Let me know in the comments. Meanwhile, any questions, you know what to do. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.